Hey guys, you're with BillHamawi, aka Spitroasted, and today I'm going to show you the best settings for streaming with an AMD Radeon GPU. To support me and this channel, please smash the subscription button and like the video, as it helps me to bring great content like this to you. I'm currently using an i7-7700K with 32 gigs of RAM and a 5700 XT, which I use to stream and play at the same time. Once you're in Streamlabs, go down to the bottom left corner, open up the settings, and then you'll see the first tab is the general tab. At the top you have your cache settings. This is basically all the images and all the settings that you have locally in your scenes. I wouldn't touch this. I would leave this confirmed stream title and game before going live, as this will allow you to set your game title and your game before you go live. Configure your default devices, your microphone, your webcam. That's what you're gonna have to do there. I haven't really looked into auto optimize and OBS import, but if you used to use OBS, I would recommend Streamlabs, and I'm not affiliated with Streamlabs, by the way. I would recommend Streamlabs because it's good. Your output, I don't really have anything set here, but if you'd like to play with those, you can. And then your source alignment, I've left that to default settings. So on the left here, there is this stream tab. Let's open that up. And this is where you set your stream destinations. So I have YouTube and Twitch, but I haven't done any YouTube recordings. I am thinking about going to Restream, which is a multi-stream platform, which is for free. But I haven't set that up yet, and I would like to set that up. So the output tab is where you'd like to set your settings to get the most out of your AMD GPU. You set your audio track on the streaming tab over here. You set it to 1, your encoder should be AMD, then disable enforce streaming service encoder settings. Your rescale output should be off, and then your preset, you can set that to restore default settings or whatever you like, but mine, I've put it to Twitch streaming. I just find that it works well with Twitch. And then the quality preset, you can put it on quality if you have a very fast CPU. I have an i7-7700K, it's not the greatest now, but it was the greatest back in the day. So I've set it to speeds, and I just find that it works better for frames when I'm playing Modern Warfare or I'm playing other first-person shooters. It's really good in that sense. The rate control is set standard, you can't really do anything, it's grayed out. Pre-pass mode should be disabled, and your target bit rate is dependent on your upload speed. Mine is set to 6000 because I have a decent upload speed. I wish it was better, but it's still decent. And 6000 is recommended at 60 frames on 1920 by 1080, which we'll go through that in a second. These two options are. Once you have this window open, the general tab basically has nothing that you want to change in here. Audio tab, you set it to 44.1 kilohertz. Your channel's stereo, and the rest is just default, or you can set them to go to your audio devices, your output, your input. In your video, this is where you set your output resolution, so what you actually stream to Twitch. So I'm just doing basically no scaled resolution. So I stream what I am showing on my screen, and the downscale for me, it should be actually this one here, the 32 samples. If you have a slower CPU, then I would lower this to bicubic. I wouldn't go to billionaire unless you have a really bad computer or a really bad upload speed. And then your common FPS. If you would like to stream 60 FPS, I would put it to 59.94. It just helps a little bit with getting better looking stream quality. If you have a very fast upload, then you can set it to 60, and that will help everything look better. Your hotkeys, I don't use any hotkeys, so it's up to you if you like, but you can set your hotkeys for Twitch, YouTube, your sources, your follow goals, all this other stuff. You can set all of these, but I don't use any of this, and it works really good if you have what do they call it? They call a stream board. So yeah, I don't use these. In the advanced settings, you can set your process priority to high. I don't recommend it, as some games that use your CPU, they use more CPU, are going to cause frame drops if you set this to high, as it will take priority over your game. Your color format, you should set it to NV12 and then 709, which is higher than the standard 601, which will just give you a better looking output. More colors means, you know, better looking. By the way, I'm colorblind, so that's great. Partial color range, actually this should be set to full color range. Force GPU on render. And then your audio should be default. Disable Windows audio ducking, sorry. Default here, default on replay buffer. Your stream delay, add a stream delay if you're a competitive person. Sometimes adding a stream delay can also help you not lose upload or bitrate, sorry, not lose frames in that. You want to automatically reconnect if you drop out. And your network, I've bind it straight to the local IP address, which is the 192.168.1.100. If you want to find that, you can just go to your Windows bar down here. That's Windows X, and then go to PowerShell, open a PowerShell, and type in ipconfig over here, and it will give you your IP4 address, and then you can have your default gateway if you need to access your router. But anyway, that's on a different story. And then there's this low latency mode. Now this low latency mode, it actually helps with games that are fast moving and fast paced, like Modern Warfare. I don't know exactly what it does to the encoder, but it just helps with the output when you're streaming, and it doesn't look as pixelated. If you watch some streamers, you know, playing Modern Warfare or other, you know, really fast moving games on the screen, you'll notice that there's major pixelation on the screen. I don't know if that's due to hardware or if it's due to the low bit rate, but this low latency mode helps with that, and it also helps with your ping in the game when you're streaming and playing the game. So your sources, you want to enable browser source hardware acceleration, and your media file should be enable media file caching. Yeah. So scene collection, you can do all of this if you want to do that, but this is more about performance. Notifications should be enabled. I don't know about sounds, I just don't do that. And this detects skipped frames and then detect dropped frames. If we go back to the main tab, down here in the bottom left corner, if you press these 3 bars and you click 1, 2, 3, 4, what this does is, if you see it down here, it's changing. It shows you during your stream whether your high CPU usage, if you're constantly streaming at 5994, which is 60 FPS, or if you're dropping frames, or your bitrate is going, it's scaling up or scaling down. This is a good thing to have because it shows you when you're live streaming whether you have a bad connection or a good connection, or your computer is struggling to play the game and stream, or if you're dropping frames. So that's a very good option to do. So let's go back down here. We were on the notifications, right? So yeah, I showed you that. The appearance, I've set mine to night because I don't like the look of day. And then the rest of this, I've just left on default. You can set up your remote control if you want to download the OBS phone application. I don't really use it. And then your virtual webcam, I don't use it. And the game overlay, I don't use it because I don't want to overlay, because if you turn on the overlay, then you will find once you've turned on the overlay that you will lose FPS. I'm stuttering, forgive me. I'm trying to fix my speaking. So, and those are the settings that are excellent for Streamlabs and your Radeon GPU. Yeah. Also guys, please leave a comment below on what kind of content you would like to see in the future. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the like button. Thanks.